All right, you guys, I'm back, and this message also is in regards to your purpose. Excuse me. I'm telling you, this pollen, this heat, this everything that it ain't. All right. Um, God has just been downloading so many words, but I just haven't been able to get to them for whatever reason. But this is my. I'm not sure I understand. Don't talk unless I ask you. But anyways, I just posted 2 other messages, and this is my 3rd message. The other 2 is part 1 and part 2. Go back and listen to them if God leads you to. Again, like I told everyone else, do what God is leading you to do. You don't have to be so spiritual to know if you have peace with something. That's one way God speaks to us, if we have peace in our heart. And I know me, even when I do have peace in my heart, I still got to make sure that it has nothing to do with anything soulish. For example, if I'm already contemplating in my mind that I want to do a certain thing and I see this certain thing and it shows up a lot of times, and I could say, yes, God, you are speaking, and I have peace about it, I'm still going to run that thing under God's light. I still need his signature. I need him to stamp and approve and whatever else. That's just how I am. I don't like moving unless he says so, even when it comes to speaking. I don't care if he's giving me, gosh, within the month of March, I have like 20 different messages that he spoke to me with names, because previously in my other video, I said that the Lord told me in the beginning of March, he's going to start speaking to me twice about things and to pay attention. And I've been doing that. I'm telling you, he's been downloading, but still at that, I still ask God within that, Lord, allow me to process a particular message a little while longer, because I need it to be personal to me. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, I think I didn't answer my question at first, but anyways, I don't know if you guys heard before that, like if you sell a product, no one's going to believe in that product unless you do. So when you're up in front of someone and you have a product to sell, hair products, skin products, whatever the case may be, if you don't believe in that product yourself, it's not going to sell. Like, people need to hear you talk about, not gloat about it or boast about it. They really need to know that you're, 1, passionate about what you're giving away, and then 2, they need to know that you tested the product. They need to know that it worked for you. Because if it's hair products, I'm not trusting anyone to just say, oh yeah, I have hair products. I need to know that you tested it as well and it worked for you. Skin products, I need to know it worked for one person before I try it myself. And I'm the type of person, I talk to someone else, I think my nail tech, and I'm going to get to the word, but I feel like somebody needs to know this. I was talking to my nail tech, and I was saying, I was like, yeah, if it's a hair product or skin product, I give it 30 days. And she's like, what, 30 days? I only give it about 2 weeks and I'm done. I was, I laughed at that because I never thought about it that way. But my thing is, I'm still hung up on the thing about, it takes 21 days to break a habit. So that's where my mindset is with just about anything. And that's just a natural way to, a natural way to look at it. But yeah, so you have to be confident in what it is that you are encouraging others to engage in. People will know when you're authentic. People will know when you say something and it's really not from you. They can tell that you got it from someone else, somewhere else, but you're trying to portray it as if you said it or if you did it. People will know. People will know. I don't think you need to be so spiritual to know if someone is not being authentic in it. I would hope so. I mean, I know. I pick it up. I don't know if it's because of my discernment is so high or whatever the case may be. We're all in different places in our walk. So I'm not saying that I'm better, but I do know when it's not authentic. I can pick up when someone's not being authentic. Because my whole drive is I prefer people to be real, raw, and authentic. I don't want you to lie. If it hurts you, if I did something wrong or you need to let me know, because that's how we shut the enemy up. When we don't do that, we begin, the bait of Satan, which is offenses. We begin to carry offenses in our heart. And I don't know why I'm going on a rant like that. But anyways, but authenticity. People will know when you're not authentic or not. If you don't, and you're watching this video, I pray that your discernment will be heightened, that God would begin to show you those who really have your best interests at heart and want to see you grow, that they're not trying to manipulate you or control you. Like, the Jezebel spirit or Leviathan spirit. You don't need anyone that's saying that they're going to try to lead you and encourage you to do certain things, but then you begin to see their outward appearance change. They start to look like the world because they can't mask themselves for too long. Oh my God. I'm making some people mad, but I don't care, because God's heart and mind, I adopt that. I want other people to adopt God's heart and mind, and that's the people. Do not lead other people astray. The Israelites was led astray one too many times, and God didn't deal well with the ones who led them astray. It's one thing for you to sin, but it's another thing for you to involve other people to sin, and I don't know why I went into that. So this message God gave me on March 6, 2023. It also has to do with your purpose, and this also may have to be a part 2. So there's a show called Arrow, and it's a superhero show. I hate superhero shows. I think they're so corny, they're boring. It's so many of them, and it's all the same concept, and it just gets boring to me. So I don't really care about it. Now, the Iron Man I do like, because I know the backstory of Robert Downey Jr., how he had the alcohol rehab and all that kind of stuff, and he got himself together and back in it. Now, I was drawn to him to see how his life played out in acting. So the show Arrow is a superhero show as well. It's about, long story short, the family name is Queen. They are the main family point, or the main vocal point of the show. Long story short, the Queen's Gambit had went down, or the boat or whatever had went down near an island, and the son of the man who was on the boat, he was stranded on his island, but his dad ended up killing himself. This show is a whole bunch of drama and lies. It's a lot for my spirit, but the Lord is still leading me to watch it. But I did get the gist of why he wanted me to watch it to begin with. And this is also going to be a part 2. But so the son, Oliver Queen, was on this boat, and it went down, and I'm not going to go in further details of the whole entire show because we'll be here forever. And he was on this island where he ended up getting trained. So when he went back to his city, Starling City, which I think is in Seattle, Washington, he went back to Starling City to take charge of the city, to deal with all the wrong that was going on in his city. He was taking charge of that city, right? And that's just a just. I'm not going any further. Just remember that part. Then as I began to watch that, another day I was watching, I'm reading my notes, you guys. I was watching a voiceover of this young lady who does cartoon voiceovers, and it was about Tarzan. So as I was watching Tarzan, as she was doing the voiceover, I felt led to watch Tarzan, the cartoon Tarzan. And I watched this a million times. I'm like, Lord, why Tarzan? So I went to watch Tarzan. And near the end, the boat that Clayton used to try to take the daughter, or try to take Jane, her dad, and Tarzan on, the name of the boat was called Arrow. So that's twice that God was getting my attention as far as Arrow. And I said, oh my God, as many times as I watched this movie, I never even knew there was a name on the boat. But the boat says Arrow. And you can go back and watch Tarzan and see it. It says Arrow on the boat. So I said, wow, okay, God, you're speaking to me about the word arrow. Let's keep going, right? And again, the Lord said he's going to be speaking to me twice, and with things. So 2 things. Again, the young boy, Oliver Queen, the one that was stranded on an island, he ended up being trained to go back to his city, to run his city, to take charge. His main line that he uses when he captures the bad guy or whatever is, you have failed this city. You have failed this city. Tarzan was also trained in a jungle. Oliver Island, Tarzan jungle. Tarzan was also trained, sorry. train, because he also had to take over because the humans, Clayton, came and they killed, what was his name? Kojak? I think Kojak. So Tarzan also had to take charge. So this is the Lord saying that a take charge, we are in a season to take charge of what he's telling us to take charge of, and that's in the promised land. That's our purpose, that we need to begin to take charge. Let's go further in what these boats mean. Boat, a big boat, large boat, which is what the queen, Oliver Queen, the boy, the boat went down. It was a large boat. So a large boat means support, ministry, right? Church. So wherever God has called you to be or to do, or wherever you're planted in a church home, you are going to begin to take charge in whatever purpose that God has called you to do, whatever assignment he led you on. You are going to take charge. You are going to take charge. You're going to show up and you're going to, do what you need to do, and the enemy is going to have to flee. They're going to have to flee. And if it's anyone in your position, yes, I'm saying this, and when I say position, if anyone is not on the right post, then they're going to have to move, because they failed the city. They failed to do what God has called them to do. So they're going to have to move, because God has raised up another, which is you and I, to take position, to get on post, to be where we need to be. Right? Okay. So God also led me to 2 Kings 13, 17 through 19. This is when Elijah was dying and Joash was only 7 years old. He was becoming king. So Joash went to Elijah to get more insight on some things, because he wasn't spiritually wise at all. So Elijah told, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm going to go to the scripture because you need to know. Elijah had told Joash to grab the bow and arrow, to shoot 3 different times. He did it, but Elijah got upset, and Elijah had said to him, you should have did it more than what I told you to do. He said, now that you only did it for a little bit of time, for 3 times, you will only defeat the city of Aram you will only defeat Aram, A-R-A-M, 3 times. 3 times. Hear me, people. The arrow is us taking charge. God is shooting us out to where we need to be. Purpose, ministry, whatever assignment he's called us to do, he's shooting us out like an arrow. He's putting us where we need to be to take charge over the city, over whatever post that we're supposed to be on. Whoever was there prior to us, they're going to have to move. They're in the wrong place. They're on the wrong post, which means they don't even know what their purpose is. So they're going to have to shift out of where they are so they can get alignment. You get on your post. And yes, they have failed the city. They failed to take charge of where God has told them to go. So the 3 times, there's that number 3 again, fullness. Elijah, he only did it 3 times. Joash only did it 3 times. Elijah got upset and said, hey, you should have did it more than 3 times. Now that you only did it 3 times, you're only going to defeat Aram 3 times. And yes, God fulfilled that too. He only defeated Aram, I need to slow that down, 3 times. Elijah said, you should have did it more than that. This is what God is saying to us. God says, we will do battle. And wherever he's called you to do, wherever he's called me to do, in our ministry, in assignment, he says, we are going to go and do battle in the areas that he called us in until there's nothing left. This is what Joash should have done. He should have continued to shoot that arrow until there was nothing left, but he only did it 3 times. He stopped. God is saying, do not stop. Continue to go forward, to continue to take charge, continue to keep doing what God has told you to do. We are to be in this position, I don't want to keep saying positions, but on post, and doing what God has called us to do in our assignment and in our purpose until there's nothing left. If he's called you to deliverance in a particular area, let's say rebellion, you're going to battle in that particular area of deliverance until there's nothing left. When he means nothing left, if he takes you to one city and that person, whoever's there that was supposed to do it and they didn't do it, they failed that city, then God is sending you and he's going to tell you to clean up that city until there's no more rebellion left, until there's no more sexual immorality left, until there's no more drug addictions left, until there's no more fornication left. I don't mean to get all rowdy up and stuff, but I hope you guys are following me. It's past 15 minutes. I'm not going to keep repeating why I only have 15 minutes. But I pray, you know what, I need to stop this because I don't know if this video